Hey. Ah, since this is an open letter to the dark side, figured I might as well dress up as one of them. What the heck? We all have our dark substance and stuff, don't we? Okay, now this one's pretty long, so sit back, get your cup of tea, and here we go. First journal on 8/22/2010, Mayan day 10, rabbit or star. Now, what rabbits and stars have to do with one another, I don't know, unless it's stars that are multiplying out there the way rabbits do or something. Whatever. Okay, open letter to the dark side. Your real nature is light. Ha! Well, let's see about that. My eyes are still a bit blinded from sun gazing this morning. This poor guy doesn't even blink. That's right, he doesn't have any flesh to have anything to blink with. Ha! Okay. It's a favorite morning blessing for me. I really enjoy it. It's not just a looking that happens, but a real connection that's made, or that can be made for each one. My heart flows over this connection, and the prayers, they just flow forth. Now, I don't really know how much of that is due to sun gazing. It's not like I don't or can't pray without the sun, just to be clear there. But anyway, it was notable once again how all of the prayers this morning went to blessing the dark side, calling them or that to come into the light. What a trip! I assure you, this is nothing this person, this physicality, Theresa-Ann, would choose to be doing. She wouldn't touch it. Too aware of wanting to keep her distance from this. So, it is light flowing through and making these blessings. Light must want this. So, I'm going to make this an open letter to the dark side and just see what comes forth. If it's an idea of mine, that will be clear before too long. It will expose itself as having no power. But if it's light of the truth, then that will be different. Let's find out. Oh my God, it's funny. Even these fingers hesitate to so directly address these ones. Oh well, tally-ho! You who have taken the path of power and knowledge, the left-handed path or the dark side, there are better ways available to you. There is a path of not knowing, of becoming, of presenting the empty cup. Now, don't laugh so hard. Though this may amaze you, all of your knowing is not a bit necessary. Right now, it actually gets in the way. It messes you up. How so? By thinking you know something. That closes you off to anything else. That's the tremendous reliance on the thing that is known. If it's right, if it's true, well, you're fine. But what if it's not? What then? Where does that leave you? It leaves you hanging on falsehood, with the path of assistance quite closed to you, and you've shut the gate on it by being so sure that you know. That's where you are now. Let me sing for you the praises of the path of not knowing. Everything is possible this way. Nothing is shut out. Do you see this? The path of emptiness is actually the one that lets the full knowing enter, whenever it will. Not knowing is what's best for this. It leaves the gate open, with no other knowing to get in the way, knowing that might be false anyway. All are one. You seem to have forgotten that. If you'd remembered, you wouldn't be treating any part of life that way, with the dark ways that you practice. You'd know that other one was you too, first of all, and that whatever it was, your actions would bounce back to you some way and someday. How have you forgotten this, I wonder? But I don't want to know. That's for you to ponder and look into. All life is just one. You think rather much of yourselves. Your arrogance is stunning. Still, all that is your faith in your knowing, whatever that's worth. You've placed your whole life, your whole reliance, your whole existence on that. Your future's carved out in it. Do you realize that? Oh yes, you're slick, and you've developed ways to dodge your karma, to get others to carry the load for you. Well, that's falling apart now. Perhaps you'd noticed? All you did was put off the inevitable. You can't forever escape. Oh, it's been a nice run for you. Quite a number of millennia spent this way. Still, that's not stretching out into any future for you right now. So, what do you say? How about switching sides? How about coming into the light? Now look, your ship's going down anyway. You know that. There it goes. You can go down with it, of course. That's quite up to you. You do have free will. I suppose many of you will do that. Go down screaming, blaspheming your hate to the last. Well, that's an option. Doesn't look too palatable to me. Here's the deal then. You seem to forget that you are of the light just as I am. You've been lied to yourself. Did you not know that? Did you never suspect? What about your wise ones, your ancient ones, whose wisdom is surely captured, stored for you in some way? What have they to say to you? What is their take on these things? Do they speak of your origins, your place, originally in light? I don't know, of course. I know less than nothing. Though it's nothing that's best, ho-ho. Anyway, that's up to you to do the research on. Inquire of them, of those of your races who have gone on before you. Some have gone into the light, have they not? Well, what did they say? What do they say? Go commune with them. You have shut them out by your determining that your current knowledge is right, that it's best. You haven't left room for anything else in the midst of your blazing arrogance. You're quite full up with self. Well, how does that look to you now? How has your knowledge proved out? Has it saved you? What does it say that's worth listening to, I wonder? It's brought you to this pass. With it, you've crafted your own destruction. Your whole world, the way you've constructed it, milking others' energy to survive since you have none of your own, that's crumbling down now, as you well know. Well, what next? I sense your fear at that, and with good reason, no doubt. But that's the core of the problem, don't you see? It's your reasoning, your knowing, your reliance on that's the issue here. It's led you here. Not so very good, wouldn't you say? Judge it by its fruits. You can see that. Go to your elders, hear what they say, the wise ones from long ago, or even the more recent converts. Many have gone over to light. Haven't you missed them? It's where they went. Meanwhile, let me share with you an opportunity that is open to you right now. It's really ridiculous in a way that you should have such a great opportunity, considering the burden that you've been on life. But That's what love is. What love does. That's just love's way. This whole crashing down time was designed for you, to give you this chance before passing into eternal darkness, to give you one last choice. That's right. It took this level of total destruction of your ways to even get your attention, to pierce through the veil of your knowing, of your arrogance. You just wouldn't listen, not any other way. They've been tried. You hardly noticed. You'll realize that later. I don't know anything about any of this, so my knowing doesn't get in the way of being used by the light to talk to you. Do you see how that works? You know it's not me speaking here to you. So take it from light. You know what is true and what is not in these words. I don't. You be the judge. It's not necessary to go down with the dark side's collapse here in 3D. You can choose to go light. You'll not be blamed there, nor judged, nor punished, nor deceived, nor abused in any way. Quite a different way of life than you're used to, and it will be quite a shock to be loved and respected and cared for. You're not at all used to that. You'll be given time and assistance to adjust. I ask you to look at this channel we're using and look for any deception, any falsehood, any attempt to deceive. You see none, just her loyalty to truth. There is no deception, no dark ways in light. You've been deceived about light too. You've been lied to yourselves, and you believed. This one, Theresa-Ann, finds humor in how your deception practiced on mankind has found its way back to you. So appropriately, too. The deceivers are deeply deceived themselves, and all unknowing, just like mankind. You never saw this acting among you, just as you sought to hide your deception, your divisiveness, from the mankind of earth. So was yours hidden from you. What goes around comes around. Surely you know this. The golden rule holds as well. Now, do you realize why these hold true? It's because the all is but one. There's no two anywhere. All are linked up as the whole that is one. Even the quantum physics of mankind exposes this. You know your science does too. You just chose not to see it, not to read it that way. Full of your own knowledge, you couldn't see anything else. You didn't realize the dangers the path of knowledge brings. What you rely on, what you believe, sets your course, controls what you see and don't see. You weren't aware of that. Arrogance is truly blind, but you can see it right now. To harm any part of life is to quite literally harm the self. There's no other way. That's how and why things bounce back to you. There's no God doing that to you. See through the veil. See how you do those things to yourself. Do you see? Now, there's a tremendous level of fear among you. Please know this. There's no fear in the light. Not one iota, one microdrop, not a bit. So you can choose to drop that, to leave it behind, to just walk away. How do you do that? Well, listen to this. As you look around you, you see your world as you've known and constructed it.